Yeah, if you had to list a word that was on the same level as moist, pustule is probably
Pustule's
it.
way worse than moist.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Skincare Nerds. I'm Joanna and today we're talking about teen skincare. So if you are a teen yourself or you have a teen in your life, stay tuned. So let's start by talking about what's happening with the skin or the body on the inside. So as we go through puberty, our body is creating hormones, estrogen and testosterone, which can cause skin changes on the face and the body. Not to mention the increase in hair, particularly for males, which can cause its whole other range of skin issues. It's the testosterone that's largely responsible for that increase in oil production, which can lead to concerns like blackheads, congestion, papules, pustules, you name it, kind of those typical acne concerns. Now, while we don't really have control of our hormones at this time, you've probably heard people say that during puberty your hormones are raging. That's absolutely true. There's not a lot we can do about that, but there are some things we can do topically to keep the skin under control, so to speak. So for everyone, I say that a basic skincare routine from the start of puberty is a good idea. Now, everyone's going to go through puberty at a different stage of their life, but if you do start that consistent routine, firstly, you're getting in a really good habit, and secondly, you're taking care of your skin. Because of that varying age that puberty starts, there's no specific age where skincare is necessary. I always get people asking, my daughter's 10, can she start using skincare? Or they're 15, can they start using skincare? There's no age as such, but you may be able to identify that these concerns are starting to pop up on the skin, and that's when you can start to treat them with some really gentle basic products. And by basics, I mean a cleanser, a moisturizer, and an SPF. And if you've got a teen at home that isn't really cooperating with the skincare routine, let me tell you why those three products are the most important ones to start with. First of all, cleansing helps to break down dirt, debris, excess oil on the skin. No, water doesn't do the trick. That's not going to break down everything that might be leading to the congestion. Secondly, our moisturizer helps to keep the skin balanced and hydrated so that it doesn't overproduce oil. This is what can happen when our skin gets dehydrated. So if all we're doing is using stripping ingredients and not rehydrating the skin and supporting it, you will overproduce oil, and then that's going to exacerbate your concerns that you already have. And then lastly, SPF is really important, not only because it protects your skin from UV damage, but it can also prevent those post-acne marks or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation from worsening. Now, I know you're probably wondering what brands you should be looking at. So some of my favorite skincare brands for teenagers include La Roche-Posay, CeraVe, The Ordinary, and ASAP. So if you're already using the basics, but you're in the thick of puberty and they're just not cutting it anymore and you want to start to introduce some other products, an AHA and BHA hybrid product and a niacinamide or vitamin B3 product could be your saviors. That's because they can help to settle inflammation and reduce the severity and frequency of breakouts. So if you haven't seen our other videos on AHAs and BHAs and niacinamide, essentially your AHAs and BHAs are working to resurface the skin. They're clearing away any congestion that's sitting inside the pores. Niacinamide is helping to balance oil production. It's rehydrating the skin. It's supporting your skin's barrier. Those brands I mentioned earlier all have a variation of products with these ingredients in them. Two of my favorite products to recommend are the ASAP Super B Complex and the Radiance Serum mixed together on alternating nights. So on one night you'd use the B and Radiance mixed together, next night you would use the B by itself, following night B and Radiance together. So that is a combo that I really like to recommend for congested skin. If you're looking for more of an affordable option, The Ordinary have a salicylic acid serum and also a niacinamide serum, but they don't contain as many actives as the ASAP products. CeraVe have their SA cleanser and cream for body breakouts. I personally use both of those on my acne. And La Roche-Posay also have a range of serums, but they also have a specific acne range called Effaclar. I should also mention that these ingredients will help to reduce the occurrence of ingrown hairs for those that are just starting to shave for the first time and are experiencing a bit of irritation. So when should you see a specialist or a doctor if your skin concerns are getting a little bit out of your control? So if you find that you've been using topical products and you aren't seeing results, it might be a good idea to start with seeing a dermal therapist, so someone that can assist with recommending the right skincare products for you and also performing any suitable treatments on your skin. However, as dermal therapists, we do have a scope of practice, and sometimes these concerns need to be addressed by a specialist. So you might be recommended to go to your GP and get a referral to go and see a dermatologist. So if you or a teen in your life is experiencing painful, persistent, cystic breakouts, it might be a good idea to go and see your GP and get a referral to a derm. They might end up prescribing you oral or topical medications. Now, what to avoid? I could go on forever about what to avoid when you're a teenager with your skin, because particularly in my generation, we made some serious mistakes with our skincare. There were a lot of new brands on the market that promised to get rid of acne, proactive, but they didn't necessarily benefit the skin in any way. So I would recommend avoid drying out your skin. That's not going to do it any good. It is better to balance your skin instead of just opting for all acne products. Make sure you're still supporting your skin barrier and also rehydrating it. Step away from the apricot scrub. Again, that's kind of like a late 90s, early 2000s triggering moment for me. Do not use any kind of harsh scrubs on active acne. It is better to use a chemical exfoliant. Any dermal therapist will probably tell you that. So just be mindful of those scrubs that you see on the supermarket shelves. I personally wouldn't be buying them for myself. There are still very affordable options that aren't at the supermarket. Please stop picking. You will pay for it later in scarring, and then you'll want to be having treatments to treat the scarring. So just avoid picking. You will still sometimes get that PIHP or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation from marks that you don't touch. It's just because of the inflammation that has occurred in that area, but they are easier to fade if you haven't been picking them or squeezing them. And then lastly, consistency is key. If you're using a spot treatment once a week and expecting that to cure your whole face of breakouts, not going to happen. You need to stick to a consistent routine. That will be the best thing for your skin, and it will help to clear your concerns a lot quicker. And also, don't forget, most people will experience acne at some point in their life. It is totally normal, and there are avenues to treat it. And let's be honest, you're probably your own worst critic. Other people probably aren't even noticing your skin. If you have any questions on teen skincare or skincare in general, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, and we'll see you next time.